Well, this is a crazy market and it's causing things to be a little bit more complex than I thought for selling gold. Such a competitive market right now, such that I think, come to the conclusion that my intermediary service, my backyard bullion buyers club, just ain't gonna work for gold no more. So I'm pausing it. And even for silver right now, it's very difficult. We're going to talk a little bit about why the current state of the gold and silver markets have led me to the conclusion that really right now, selling gold and silver is just too hard. Just too hard. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. Now, the Backyard Bullion Buyers Club, the intermediary service that we offered where we were selling other people's gold and silver on their behalf, undercutting dealers, getting better prices for buyers, but also getting better returns for sellers. We did an incredible busy year last year, and I paused the service. I want today to give a little bit of an update on where things are with that, because I still get to this day, I'd say, weekly emails from people asking when it's coming back, when are they going to be able to buy stuff again, and even from sellers who are looking to sell their precious metals. With gold being at all-time highs, I get quite a lot of people asking if I can help sell their gold for them. And the short answer is that it's just not worth it. And that's a really sad state of affairs in many ways, but also a bit of a relief from my point of view. So we'll go through some of those troubles for sellers right now, because selling gold right now is bloody hard. It really is. You are actually better just bulk selling your gold to some dealers right now than having to worry about the second-hand market. And to a certain extent, silver can be also a little bit easier to shift if you just sell it in bulk to someone. It's the simple maths of the world that we're in right now with gold and silver. And unfortunately, that does mean that for the foreseeable future, I can't really see a return of the Backyard Bullion Buyers Club in its raging, massive form that it was in last year. And that in itself is a good thing, because I honestly was quite close to burnout from it last year. It was so busy in a good way. Like, being busy is really nice, but once you actually take away that massive amount of work that I was doing, I then realized just how much I was pushing myself, and it wasn't necessarily that great and healthy. So I'm not bringing back the Backyard Bullion Buyers Club anytime soon. You're just going to have to live without the opportunity to buy and sell your gold and silver, or if you're going to sell it, just take the opportunity to sell certainly gold to a dealer, because that's part of the problem. For those that don't really know the ins and outs of it, I would take somebody's gold and silver and then I would sell it on their behalf, and they would get paid directly. I'd charge a small fee. But the problem here lies that with the market being what it is for gold, if somebody wants to sell an ounce of gold, the spread on that now has to be so razor thin that the returns are negligible compared with selling to a dealer. So why bother risking, and why bother spending that extra bit of time? You just send it to a dealer and they'll get it sold, or you'll get your money in your account that same day. A lot of the time we would do that and we would sell gold on the same day, but to actually make that happen right now, you have to have either an incredible product that everybody wants at a good price, or just an incredibly low price piece of gold. If I got a piece of gold in right now and just put it up on my website at, say, 1 or 2% over spot, the person after fees is only going to get spot, and I can't guarantee that that would sell. At the moment, with gold being at all-time highs, it's incredibly difficult for me to get that gold sold quickly, and the whole point of the service is that fast turnaround. If we have to hold on to pieces for weeks and months to get them sold, it defeats the point. I then have to have custody of it and hold it and look after it, and it's just not for me. It really isn't. So that's where we are, and it is a reflection of the market right now, that gold is so bloody cheap. And also, if I'm having to sell it to make it more worthwhile for a seller at a higher price, then why would people bother buying from me at spot price when they can buy gold underneath spot price on the Silver Forum or Facebook or wherever it might be? That's the big crux of the matter. It is just a really, really tough time at the moment to sell gold. You can still get great returns if you have, for example, bought gold like I did perhaps a few years ago. This one from January 2021. You can definitely make money on this. Like, I could quite happily sell this probably for 1,830, let's call it, spot 1,850. bit back from spot, I can get it sold, probably. If I just send it to a dealer, I'd get 80. I think Atkinson's at the moment are buying back at like 98% of spot. So, do I really want to just mess around potentially with some Joe member of the public, or do I just want to get it off to a big dealer and get it sorted? So from my perspective, the buyer's club is not lucrative for the seller or the buyer on its current form in gold. But what about silver? Silver still has this interesting place within the markets at the moment. It's arguably better priced than gold in the sense that the ratio says that we should be buying silver right now. But I still see such razor thin margins, and competition out there is rife. You can, for example, get kilo bars of silver at very close to spot on the Silver Forum. In a few days' time, you'll probably see a video of me buying a piece of silver on the forum, which at the time of the sale was underneath spot price, and you'll be flabbergasted that I got it underneath spot price. So that's all I have to say. So again, my principle here is if I'm taking people's silver to sell and doing all of the labor and the hard work of testing it all, having it, selling it, liaising with customers, doing all of that back-breaking work to just get them about an extra 50p an ounce, it doesn't really seem like a great deal for everyone. And yes, I could earn a little bit of extra money on the side doing it, but quite frankly, it was never about making extra money. It turned into a very busy year, and I was very grateful for the fees that I was able to charge and earn, and that certainly did help me as a business and content creator, and it's very nice to have that. And the principle of it is still sound, and maybe that is a business model that will be brought back at some point from my perspective, but for right now, I just don't feel like, en masse anyway, that it's worth it. Now, the odd time I can foresee in the next few months, basically, until we're in a sort of bit more of a stable period, I can definitely see myself doing the most sort of ad hoc things here and there. But it really has to be from somebody who's looking to just get it gone quick. I do not want to work with people who just want to have an optimistic price set and just sit there and not know, when it's going to sell. That's not how I've ever worked with this service. So that's where we are. There might be the odd thing, but generally you're not going to see anything from my Backyard Bullion Buyers Club for the time being. It's just not really very practical or possible, I'm afraid. And that's the sad fact of the matter for the markets right now. But in many ways, it's really good because it does mean as buyers, we have a lot more flexibility. We have the power now to get things at a really low price. And that's really exciting. And like I said, I've bought some massive, beautiful piece of silver on the forum for less than spot price, which is mental. Like, you would not have been able to do that 6 months ago at all. In fact, my whole buyer's service would have depended on that fact, because otherwise what's the point? It's just completely disconnected. So that's where we are. I'm very happy about that as a excuse that's arisen from this current market we're in, because, as I said, I was pretty close to burnout on the end of last year when it came to the Buyers Club. It just was unrelenting, which I think is a sign of how things are in the world and the markets. But it is nice and relieving not to have that, and to sort of undermine all of the silly conspiracy theorists out there that were saying that I was essentially ripping people off because I would be charging less than they should be getting and so on. No, I was very open and honest with everybody, going, look, you sell this yourself, you'll get more in your pocket, but I can offer you a fast turnaround, I can offer you more than you get from a dealer, job done. It was never about me earning as much money as possible, and to just erode that whole income stream from my last year, I feel so much better about it. It's never been about money for me. It's never been about money for me at all. Investing in gold and silver isn't really about money for me. It's about the process and the ownership of that physical thing. Money makes the world go round. We're not going to ignore that, but it's not necessarily about that. I've bought loads of things that have lost me loads of money, proof coins and the like, and we just sit on them because we enjoy them. So anyway, there we go. That's my little sort of update, tangential ramble for the Buyers Club. It's a bit sad, but also I'm quite happy about it. Don't mean that it will never come back. There certainly will be a time and a place for that kind of service to happen, and we'll hopefully bring it back at some point. So, it's what it is. Thought you'd all should have a bit of an update though, because I know there's a lot of people who've been waiting. I would say if you really want to get some of the good deals out there, get on the Silver Forum. It's the only place you can get some good deals right now. Well, that and Facebook, but I'm not on Facebook. I don't care. I just hear people talking about how good their prices are on Facebook, but Silver Forum's much safer, in my opinion, and it's the best place to be. So, yeah, that's where we are. Thanks all for watching. Thanks to the Backyard Bullion. I was going to say the Backyard Bullion Buyers Club, but thank you to you guys also, because you've been incredible for emailing me all the time, asking me when I'm bringing it back. But thank you to the Backyard Bullion Rambling Society is what I was going to say, and to the Cool Kids Club members as well. So that's kind of my little update on life, I guess. We'll see you on the next video for what I hope is going to be a very, very large piece of silver. Definitely one not to miss. See you next time. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.